Hello and welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on all social media, including Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Just search for Mac Jackson Jr. It's MacJacksonJr.com. Find out information on how to protect your family and your business from the fastest growing crime of the 21st century, and that is identity theft and fraud. I'm here today, continuing our conversation with Werner Dixon, talking about Bitcoin and Bitcoin technology. So Werner, I'd like to continue our conversation now and moving towards talking about the blockchain.
Okay.
Can you explain to our viewers about the blockchain and how does it integrate with the different types of coins?
The different types of coins integrate with blockchain. Blockchain is like, to put it in a simple format, is if you're familiar with any CPAs, if you're familiar with doing QuickBooks or something like that, and every time you do a transaction, you put it in a ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and when you write it in a ledger, you can make those changes to it if you want to. Basically, that's what the blockchain is. Every time Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is mined, it creates a transaction, and that transaction is kept in a ledger. That ledger on the blockchain cannot be changed, and that's why they have contracts written using blockchain technology, because once it's done, it can't be changed.
Mm-hmm.
You have a record of it from here until eternity.
Okay.
In order to verify that, there's an application. You can find it on CoinDesk.com, and you look at one of the currency. You can CoinMarketCap.com, and click on one of the currencies, the highlighted currency, and it takes you to another page. And on that second page, there's an application called Explorer and Explorer 2. And basically what those are block explorers. So if you want to see who's mining and the transactions on the blockchain, you look through that application. You can find out who's doing what on the blockchain. At least the company that's doing the mining, they're tagged in terms of what's on there. So you still have access to that. So that all of those transactions ever since 2009 have been kept in the blockchain. So if you want to, you can go back to that original record and look at all the records up to today. It would take you the rest of your life to do that, but there's that many transactions out there. And not only do they have one blockchain, they have several blockchains because of the application that they have. They have a Bitcoin blockchain. They have an upper blockchain called the Ethereum blockchain. But at some point, some of these blockchains interact because of the transactions that overlap.
So blockchain is a type of methodology that different types of cryptocurrency can incorporate into their techniques and their transactions.
Right. They're those logged transactions.
Logged
Transactions. So put it that way.
Logged transaction. Interesting. Yeah. Well, to shift just a little bit from the blockchain, I understand there's another application being developed or looked into for blockchain, and that's a way of creating a way for citizens to have a different privacy settings. In other words, replacing our password technology using perhaps blockchain.
One of the things that happened when Bitcoin came out, since it was a digital currency, people were thinking about anonymity or secrecy and those kind of things. And they're finding out that the older that Bitcoin gets, it's not as anonymous as it once was.
Right.
Now that the government is looking at it and trying to manage it or trying to control it.
Or we should say governments.
Governments.
Yes.
Mints. Not just ours, but other governments are looking
too.
at it. So Bitcoin is not as anonymous as it used to be. So what these clever technical geniuses have done is created another coin called Monero.
Oh, yes.
Monero is totally anonymous.
But I heard it's also could be a risk factor to it as well.
In any of them, but in terms of anonymity, that has the most security, the secrecy in terms of development.
Yes.
Anonymity. Okay. So it's almost like if you wait long enough to figure out a way to do something in that environment.
Always.
But yeah.
Criminals are also jumping on that.
Right. Some of the smartest people in the world are in jail. So
right.
Because they try to figure out ways to do things.
Right.
But yeah, Monero is one of those currencies that do that.
Interesting.
I'm mining in that one as well.
Are you? I have a little question mark with that one right now. Just studying it. I'm not sure about that one yet.
Yeah.
But interesting. So could you talk also about rigs? That was another email I got. One of my viewers sent me an email about setting up their own mining operation in their home. Is that something you'd recommend doing? I said, I'm going to talk to Werner and ask him about that.
I don't know if you can see the expression on my face, but unless you've got Bitcoin already, it's not the thing to do. And that's why you have data centers 4 football fields long in Iceland mining Bitcoin. I'll have to back up a little bit of that because some of the newer technology now is allowing you not only to mine at home, so I'll back up a little bit. You can't mine Bitcoin any longer, so forget that.
Right.
I don't care what you got in your house. You can't mine Bitcoin in your house.
Right.
But there are other coins that you can mine in your house because of the technology that's being changed. As an example, they've got technology that I'm just getting involved in now where you're actually mining on your cell phone. You're mining on my cell phone,
yes.
and I will have, hopefully within the month, I will have another little small device about a little bit bigger than my cell phone that'll be doing mining for me, and I'll be able to make $600 to $800 a month with that little mining device.
I have seen that.
You have
yes,
seen?
that is amazing.
That's
I definitely
coming.
need to research more about that to find out the connections of that.
The company that I sent you the thing, this stuff.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll definitely take a look at that.
That's it. That's it.
I want to.
So do it before the 15th.
For the 15th.
For the 15th.
For Monday.
Do it tonight. Do it tonight. So yes.
There's also I wanted to interject about social media and fake accounts real quick before our time runs out. There's a video I posted on my Facebook page. If you go to my Technology Review TV Facebook page, there's a company in China. They have 1,000 cell phones set up, all interconnected, and they're creating fake accounts for Facebook. So when you're thinking you're getting a like on your page or people wanting you to accept their friendship, they have one computer and it's controlling 1,000 cell phones. You know those prepaid phones you get that you pay X amount of dollars per month? Well, they are signing up with all these fake accounts. So, folks, be real careful when you accept somebody's friendship online because you never know if it's a fake account or not. The term fake news is definitely something that's entering on our society and our language here that people are using, and it's happening a lot. So be careful of that. So I just wanted to put that in there.
Well, Facebook is making some changes to their environment as well because of a lot of this stuff that's going on. I don't know what the total change would entail, but based on the Russians doing their thing about the election and some other things, and the way that these people are putting up videos that are shouldn't be exposed to anybody.
That's right.
So they're trying to make changes to all of that, and they've already made the change in terms of your account having to have your name in it.
Right.
So they're moving in that direction, but they can't. Every time they make a step forward, somebody else is in the background trying to figure out a way around it, and 9 times out of 10 they do.
Absolutely, and that's the vulnerability here, folks, we have with things. That's what we talk about here on our show is cybersecurity awareness, that we need to be aware of these things. Anytime we're trying to move things forward in our society for the good, you always got some evildoers, as former president once said, looking to screw things up, right?
Yeah.
And make it bad for all of us. So we have to be more aware, be conscious of it, and test for vulnerabilities, folks. Always testing for vulnerabilities. Make sure your company, you have that as well. Test for vulnerabilities. Contact my company, MJ Computer Concepts, for more information on it, and definitely contact Werner as well. What's your email again?
Give me a call at 702-580-9397. I'd love to talk to you about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain, or any of the technologies related to that, ICOs, whatever's on your plate. 702-580-9397.
Excellent, folks. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely contact Werner for that. He'll be on our show again, and we'll talk more about it. We'd like to get him in here next week as well, if we can, if our schedules permit, and talk more about what's going on with USI Tech and the future of that company here in the U.S. and Canada. And we'll continue more, folks. Have a great weekend, and tune in next week here at Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson. See you then.